Greetings, vinyl community. I'm back with another video, sort of hybrid theme. Two of my passions, movies, music. I don't really collect soundtracks, I accumulate them. They follow me home. And then I either keep them or I take them out back and shoot them and then eat them. Let's get it going. Jerry Goldsmith's soundtrack to Star Trek the Motion Picture. The theme song was reworked and used for the Star Trek Next Generation theme. The Reanimator soundtrack by Richard Band. Now, the second the needle drops on this one, this sounds exactly like the Psycho soundtrack. He was very inspired by the Psycho soundtrack, and he wanted this music to sound like Psycho, so there you have it. If you haven't seen Reanimator and you like horror films, what are you doing? Curtis Mayfield's Superfly. It contributes to the fact that 1972 was the best year in human history. Pusher Man is one of my favorite songs of all time, so a TV show that I'm sure many of you are familiar with, Cosmos, Carl Sagan. Classical and the Greek god Vangelis. It's got some Tomita. It's cool music. It's been sampled to death. Essential. So, Empire Strikes Back. Yep. Dungan, the Swedish band, did a soundtrack for the 1920s silent film called Hoxen, which is a really badass movie. It's a silent film about the superstition and everything that which kind of surrounds the occult and devils, and I think it's probably the best movie ever to put on mute at a Halloween party. Yeah. I never really do record store day, I go in like the day after or whatever, and this was one of the leftovers, and I'm glad because witches and what have you. Good shit. Dark Shadows. It's a very popular vampire drama. Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. Except, you know, the part where with the weird things that take their heads off and then chase her around. I mean, I don't want anything to do with those. This is film music by Mark Isham. He does many, many modern movie scores. This has music from Never Cry Wolf on it, which is one of my childhood favorites. This is the real shit right here. This soundtrack is one of my favorite records I own. The old records that you find kicking around in dollar bins, those were not even Vangelis. It was like some symphonic stuff that was on the American version of the movie. It's just, you don't want any of that. Tron, the original, by Wendy Carlos. I'm a little dismayed that in order to own this, I must also own 2 Journey cuts. It's hard to find. It's really good. I loved this movie as a kid, and this soundtrack is very memorable. If you find the Shining soundtrack, you gotta grab that because those are hard to find. But you gotta love Tron. I mean, sure, it was kind of a flawed movie, but so good night.